Cincinnati. Cincinnati. My wife is from around there. Yeah, he needs a good church. Hey. Yeah, we know that. I'm talking. 234.
I know a good church in that
Henry
area.
Chapman,
Present.
Bill Powell,
Present.
Nick Vogel,
Here.
Ray Cruz,
Commissioner Cruz is running about 5 minutes late.
Scott Boris,
I haven't spoken to Commissioner Boris, I believe he'll be here.
Dave Richard,
Here.
This thing is cracked, not in food.
Yeah, you hit it with that gavel.
Okay,
The proximity to the gavel. It's just
this is
busted.
cracked, not in food.
We'll make note of that.
Approval of the regular meeting minutes and working session meeting, October 21st and October 23rd. Any corrections or comments?
Motion made to approve.
Second.
The minutes been approved. Public comment?
We need to do a voice vote for the minutes. You can do like an aye vote for
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposers?
public comments for agenda items.
Review financials and list of bills.
The Housing Authority for the month of October had a $18,000 net profit, which, as you recall, is a lot smaller than the net profit that we had in September, simply because we didn't have the same number of capital reimbursements for the month of October. Year to date, we have a $240,000 net profit, and that breaks down into two parts. Really, we have a $537,000 net profit in the public housing program, and a roughly $121,000 net loss in the Section 8 program. Are there any questions? Are there any questions relative to the list of bills?
Moving right along.
As I think all of the board members are aware, the Housing Authority is in the process of working with our developer to identify units for our tax credit development. We are currently in the process of just reviewing. They're actually going out and putting bids out on properties now, trying to get some of them locked down. They looked at about 10 properties. I spoke with Peter Levy from Aurora yesterday. They've actually only received a response from one of the 10 that they've reached out to so far. So they're still in the process of doing a lot of outreach, trying to get some properties under contract. So as a result, we still have, and I'll continue to give the board updates when we have that information come across our desk, just to make sure that everybody is made aware of just the progress that we've made there. Sometime either next month or in January, we'll need to have a resolution or we'll go through a bid process and then have to bring to the board a resolution to approve the project-based vouchers. It is a competitive bid process, but ideally we would like to put those out there so that we can get that portion of this project taken care of as well. Our waiting list did close on Friday. It was open for a full 30 days from October 15th to November 15th. I think we received a few hundred applications, so I think we're in the process of getting everything input into the system and sorted out. At that point, we will ask at least one member of the board, if not more, to be present so that we can handle the lottery process, make sure that that's done in a fair manner. I know that was a request that the board had previously. Oh, yes.
I'm sorry. Can I take us back to the project-based vouchers real quick? The ones that were assigned to those are ones we already have available?
Yes.
Okay, so we're not adding any more?
Not at all. We have 820 vouchers leased out of 880. So we do have vouchers.
60. And right now, the first phase of that is buying and renovating like 40 or something like that, isn't it? Okay. And is there a time frame that has to be done by?
Not that it has to be done by. We've been working with the developer so that it all falls in obviously in a good procedural time frame, but there's not a fixed date that it needs to be done by. It really just needs to be done by the time they're done rehabbing the houses.
Okay, thanks.
Do you have the address of the house that was accepted?
It wasn't accepted, they just received a response back regarding the price. I will get the address, so I'm not sure exactly which one it
Okay.
is. Also, if there are no other questions, also, as I think all of you got an email earlier today regarding the upgrades to our most recent property over on Manor Place, so you got to see some of the before and after as far as the work has come. Carlos and Jimmy have worked extensively to make sure that we're doing this quicker than we have in the past, and also that we are spending much less money. This is actually the cheapest of the 4 upgrades that we've done so far, so we're actually getting better as we go along. Now, we plan to do 6 for this fiscal year, so we're looking to do 2 more, hopefully between now and March 31st.
And I want to ask, the first one we did, how's the upkeep of it? Anyone know, anyone check?
The resident there is she's steady working. She's done an excellent job as far as we can tell, having no complaints. I know Commissioner Cruz is a little closer to the neighborhood than I am, but certainly we've had nothing but good feedback from the neighbors. I know some of the contractors that we work for, the workforce actually were contacted by the neighbors and asked to do work there as well. Okay. So I think ultimately that's been a very good first step.
Okay.
That Foxcroft one, is that what we're talking
The Brighton.
That's Foxcroft.
Yeah. Are there any other questions? Right.
So the first thing on there is the public housing waiting list numbers. Those numbers will be increasing as we add those multi-bedroom applications. So that'll be within the next few weeks, we can get those numbers updated for you. Next on there is the ready to house pool numbers. You'll see we're ready, getting people ready, especially for the 1 bedroom. So as soon as those Maple Terrace units do become available and we receive the occupancy permit from the city, we can quickly place tenants into those units.
Yeah, how many of those are there?
Of the 1 bedrooms?
Of the, Maple Terrace ones that are gonna be coming open?
The entire floor is about 26 units. Only half of that, second floor, is gonna be occupied, so, is it about 13 or 14 units?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
those
other
are
half
one-
is still under restoration and all of that.
Those are 1 bedroom ones, right?
Correct.
Yep, okay.
And then we have the notices and the referrals that went out. And we did have a total of 5 evictions over at Maple Terrace. As Mr. Gregory did mention, we did have the waiting list closed down on Friday for those 3 and 5 bedrooms. They're still working on that second floor. We're still waiting for that occupancy permit. It has been applied for, and we're hoping to get it here within the next few days to start that second floor reoccupying there. We have already identified our next scattered site update or upgrade unit, which is on Edison. They have already completed landscaping and repainted the house, and it's already made a huge difference. I believe Carlos can give you a little bit more, but again, the contractors or the work that's being done there, it's very well put together. There's residents coming over from the area and saying, hey, can you do this? How much is this? How are you doing it? Is the house for sale? So asking lots of questions, good updates going on. And then down at the bottom, you'll see some of the other activities going on at the sites, from donations to Thanksgiving baskets going out to families, the Wait No More fitness program over at Eastwood that's still going on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Any questions from anyone?
Jim?
We did assign a maintenance guy to each one of the sites. It seems to be working well. We set up a little shop for them with, put some emergency supplies in, someplace to store their tools and stuff like that. It'll just give them be able to work better with the managers and with our residents, so they can take a little more ownership of it, and they know exactly, what needs to be done as they pick up the area and stuff. They actually marking things down, so when the weather summer comes, we can actually work on some of the outside stuff that we can't address right now. Also with Thanksgiving coming up, as the guys are doing their furnace inspections and doing the regular work orders, they also checking the ovens on the stove to make sure that they're working, to make sure that everybody's able to use their ovens for Thanksgiving holidays. As Maria said, we did get a rash of vacancies, so especially with the holiday season, we're kind of putting more emphasis on trying to turn around as many units as possible to make people house for the holidays, it's someplace nice to celebrate. As Mr. Berger and Maria also reiterated that our fourth house is pretty much done, we're just doing little fine tuning and stuff like that. And we have just, with the scheduling and just, knowing ahead of time exactly what we need to do, the process is getting a lot better, a lot quicker. We're getting more familiar with what exactly the contractors, we want the contractor to do and what we want maintenance to do. And also with anticipation of knowing exactly which unit is gonna be, or next house that it's gonna be next, that we can actually go ahead and actually check out the floor plan and stuff and start ordering material ahead of time, so this way there's no delays once it becomes vacant. We are continuing doing some upgrades in the offices over at Maple Terrace. We're just basically repainting. Over at Indian Trail, we're actually converting 2 bedrooms upstairs to make them office space, and we'll be doing painting upstairs, and then we'll be putting new flooring in both the entire unit, both upstairs and downstairs. Also, as Maria was saying, we are waiting for occupancy permit for the other side of Maple Terrace on the second half side. We're continuing to working on there. We got several of them already ready to go, so when we get the permit that we can start housing people right away. And at Jericho Circle, we're basically just waiting for the architects and the plans and stuff to proceed on that. Any questions?
I got a question on the Jimmy, on the stats that you guys keep and show us. It shows like the number of work orders and then how many are worked on during the month, emergency, non-emergency. And the number of work orders received is always way bigger than what we do in a month. So for that other chunk, is it just kind of like, is it backlog, or is it stuff that you guys get and it doesn't require any action for whatever reason, or? Because if there's 350 orders that come in, and we do about half of those each month.
Well, what we do is we kind of prioritize, and some of those are annuals and stuff like that. So basically what I do is when we get the work orders and stuff, we usually try to take care of the emergencies and stuff like that, and then sometimes I'll regenerate another work order, so this way, we can take care of the others, and then we're actually in the process of doing also, like I said, annuals, and with new upgrades and stuff like that. Some of our focus has been taken away with the vacancies and stuff coming out, so.
And just to, I'm sorry, just to clarify a little bit, the first number is the total work orders received. The second set of numbers is the non-emergency. Some of those work orders, and Jimmy, correct me if I'm wrong, some of those work orders are vacancy, unit turns. So a lot of things generate a work order that aren't necessarily resident related.
Okay.
So I understand what you're getting at, because it seems like we're only doing half of them in the course of a month, but a lot of those are generated just because of non-resident items.
So why don't we spell that out so there's no question?
Take care of that.
Yeah, because it looks like everything's being done, so non-emergency work orders received and completed, and then emergency work orders received and completed. So yeah, what's the third?
I'll make sure we get that clarified.
So you just put like, because you could have like in one unit that you're turning around, 10 work orders.
Exactly. But I'll get that detail squared away, so we'll have that in the future.
Hey, what about our tiered, like, so the units that we're completing, like at Foxcroft, and so those higher tier and like our tiered system that we wanted to roll out, like, where is that in the process of?
Well, right now we're building the inventory. So each time we get a unit done, we are putting a family in that does meet the requirements of the tier 3, which is what we've been working on for this first fiscal year. It will be 6 tier 3 units. I think the average rent right now, and Maria can double check on this, but I think it's around $600 per unit. We have some that are actually potentially going to be paying higher once their employment situation settles out a little bit. So We aren't getting the desired results. We're starting to get some people in those units that are of higher incomes. And I think we're now starting to look to the waiting list to fill those as well. So there are people who potentially could be coming off the waiting list to meet those needs. In the second fiscal year is when we'll start to see some of the apartment and the tier 2 upgrades. So you'll see some of the ones that aren't as we haven't gone as far with the upgrades coming probably the next spring and summer.
So tier 3 is just the scattered site
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
Good deal.
Are there any other questions?
Okay, moving on to new business. The Secretary read Resolution 1315.
Resolution number 13-15, whereas the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development has published the fiscal year 2014 final fair market rents for existing housing, and whereas the Aurora Housing Authority intends to support payment standards at 100% of the fiscal year 2014 published fair market rents, and whereas the Aurora Housing Authority has determined that the fiscal year 2014 fair market rents are adequate to allow participants to be able to rent based upon a local rent survey. Now therefore be it resolved that the AHA Board of Commissioners approve the attached schedule of fair market rents for fiscal year 2014, which reflect the payment standards equal to the fiscal year 2014 published by HUD.
Roll call.
Okay.
Henry Champion?
Oh, you gotta make a motion.
Yeah, so we need a motion in a second.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, can I ask a question then?
Yeah.
It says that allow participants to be able to rent based upon a local rent survey. That, have we done one of those?
HUD done.
Yes, the HUD, that's where HUD comes up with the,
Oh, that's the HUD number.
I mean, we theoretically could do one, but typically it's just be doubling up on what HUD already did.
Okay. Long question.
Did we have a,
We do have a motion in a second.
Yep.
okay.
First, second, discussion.
Any other
Roll
questions?
call.
Henry Champion?
Yeah.
Bill Powell?
Yes.
Maddie Coble?
Yes.
Ray Cruz?
Yes.
Scott Forrest?
Yes.
Dave Richards?
Yes.
Resolution 1315's been approved. The ayes have it.
The second item needs voted on is simply because we changed the meeting dates from our regularly scheduled meeting date to what would be considered a special meeting date. So the meetings for next week need to be officially canceled, and as Mr. Wilson informed, we do actually have to vote in order to cancel those meetings.
Make
Make
a
a motion.
Make a motion to cancel regularly scheduled meetings for November 25th and 27th.
Second. Chief Powell.
I need a roll call for that.
No,
Henry
you're right.
Champion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposes? Okay. The meeting been canceled for November 25th and 27th. Redevelopment and issues approval.
At this point, there are none. We, as we mentioned earlier, we are where we are with the tax credit program. So, unless there are any questions, we are fine.
I was here, I would have snagged.
Before it got out.
Well, that won't bother me.
If not, we'll have to report on it, right?
Ms. Hill?
These young guys, Bill.
I know, no respect.
We're gonna get them.
Hi, how are you? Let's put you all on that side. Good evening, Sharina Hill from Maple Terrace. I'm here representing council. In the packet that I gave you all, you can just look through it together. The packet include an email from myself to Mr. Gregory requesting the funds, as well as his response stating no regulation as to what the funds can and cannot be spent on. There's letters from AHA, correspondences from the council, a copy of a sign that Kim Aponte had made herself and had posted by residents, saying that the council is dismissed. And at the end of the package, you'll find a guideline from HUD stating how everything should have went from the get-go, as far as AHA and the council, and there's various other documents. The memorandum of understanding was not created in a feasible manner. Per HUD, one or more commissioners were to be involved when creating the agreement, and it did not suit the interests of both parties equally. Information regarding the fund was not included as well. AHA never wanted to address the council as a whole. Per the memorandum of understanding, I signed it under duress. It was signed by Maria, but she was not present. It was Kim Aponte and Teresa Craft. And I just felt forced to sign it because if I didn't sign it, they made like there would be no council. But and that's also in the package as well.
I need some help. Do you mind just leaving this with us?
No, it's for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for you all to go through,
Okay.
look through. There's
And,
several documents there.
And I'll meet with Mr. Gray.
As well as the letters, continuous from AHA, which appeared to be from Mr. Gregory. But, basically, the continuous threats of disbanding the council and, you know, we've never received a resolution or authority to disband the council.
Okay, we'll meet.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask one question?
You may.
What is your main complaint, ma'am? Just so I know, what's the bottom
Our
line?
main complaint is, we've been from the bottom to the top. AHA has considered the council disband, for no reason. Basically, it's saying that as far as the funds, that it was used improperly, as far as like travel expenses, but any business, you use travel expenses with the funds. And with the request or the email and his response, there's nothing stating what the money can and cannot be spent on. That's like the biggest issue.
So you want somebody to tell you what the funds that are there
That
to
should
be
have been
used
a
for?
part of the
That's your
memorandum.
main complaint?
Right,
That's
that
what
should
you
be-
want resolved?
Well,
Right.
just,
Okay,
the,
thank you.
Ms. Williams?
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
In addition to what Ms. Hill was saying, President, from the Secretary, I think what she was trying to say, in short, we never received any documentation as to proving if AHA has the power or the authority to disband the council, and on what grounds. Per the Memorandum of Understanding, also known as the MOU, per HUD documentation, the creation of this document is to be in interest, the best interest of both parties. The director of AHA is supposed to be involved, one or more commissioners of the board, all the representatives of the Secretary of the Council, and an unobjective bi-party, I think what I'm saying is, unbiased party to mediate between the two. This was not done. As far as the funding goes, that was included in the memorandum of understanding, including should be budget, appeals, clauses for amendments, you know, and so on and so forth. None of these things were included in this memorandum. The president was made to, basically, she felt coerced, she signed it under arrest, basically what, just adding what she's saying, that if she didn't sign these documents, there would be no council. All these documents were signed in front of Teresa or Kim Aponte. To our understanding is the manager of resident relations. We don't know where that title came from. We don't understand it. We feel like it's in total contradiction as to what our positions are held for in the first place.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And we'll get back with you. Okay?
One other thing. Oh, my 3 minutes are up?
Well, kind of saying what she said.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's kind of, we have so much information. That's pretty much why we compacted it into
Right.
that packet, so you can see what happened.
just looking in here, I see
Right.
that you're going over the same thing. Okay,
And basically what we're asking for is an administrative hearing in regards to, we feel that we weren't in the wrong because we didn't have the knowledge, and per the Title 24, Section 960 of HUD, of the Code of Federal Regulations from the desk of the Secretary of HUD. It is AHA's responsibility to train us. And this training is supposed to take place while we are in office, not disband us unduly, because we are a duly elected council. We were funded, and we were acknowledged by the board per the resolutions you have right there on the front of the packet. If we were duly elected democratically, then we are to be disbanded that way.
Okay, we'll get back with you.
Thank you.
Any legal issues?
We'd be certainly happy to review the packet and to meet with Mr. Gregory to
I like to be in on that
go
meeting.
through what had happened and with anyone else, obviously.
What's the more names assigning their role?
Maybe
Oh,
you
okay,
can
okay.
email us a copy of all this
Absolutely.
information.
Ms. Abbott?
Okay. Hello, how y'all doing?
Very good.
Okay, the reason I'm here, I have to bring something to your attention, and I had to write it down so I won't forget nothing. I, Sharon Harris, coming to y'all to inform y'all about the problem with Serena Hill and Denise Williams about the threats that was made on me, and the understanding I got from my lease was that no one should be threatened by another tenant for no reason. My lease stated that if a tenant is threatened for any reason, that is a violation of your lease. And I still see them in the building, and I feel like nothing has been done. Can you explain to me why nothing hasn't been done to the tenants that has come into me and said if they got away with it with me, then they can do the same to them? For me, I leave me no choice but to defend myself, and that I leave to talk this to a higher authority, and this is why I'm addressing the board first with the problem.
Okay. One statement you made, why nothing been done, I don't know, you know about this?
Are these personal threats? Is that what you mean, ma'am?
Sound like it.
Another resident, personal threats here?
Yes, sir, I have wrote papers on them and everything, and I turned them in to Teresa. Kim got them, made copies and everything. And I felt like, you know, things that came to me, and I've been dealing with it for the last 2 years, I'm just at the point I done had enough. I like where I'm staying at, I'm not trying to get evicted from it, but you can only take so much. So I'm bringing all this to the board first about these threats and everything and stuff, because I feel like if it's in the lease saying that you cannot threaten another tenant, that's a violation of your lease. I feel like they should have been violated for it. Not still walking around the building, not still when they see me or whatever, they got little stuff coming out their mouth towards me and stuff like that. I don't
Okay.
bother nobody.
Okay. You reported this to your property manager?
Yes, Teresa knew all about it.
All right, we need to follow up on
But if, first of all, let me say this, if you feel that somebody's threatening you, what you need to do is turn around and call the police,
I did all of that.
okay?
I made police reports and everything, but my understanding from the police, when I went down there, and they showed me pictures. The first picture they showed me, which it did not look like Denise, so I couldn't sit there and say that was Denise Williams.
Okay.
But the other two pictures they showed me, I wrote on the side, this is Serena Hills, this is Reuben Holmes, and it still wasn't nothing done. Then they talking about that, by me not being able to identify Denise, it wasn't enough
The charger.
to charge them, and I don't understand why it wasn't
Right.
when, and I, you know, told them, and I called the police more than once on them.
I need to make a comment about that. I know that I'm not gonna turn this to a certain one comment.
It's false.
I'm sorry, what?
Basically, it's false accusation.
Well, hold on.
I've already spoke to Woolsey.
But do we-
It's false.
Do we
But
need
first
to
of
air
all-
this here?
I'm sorry.
It should have been brought here. It's false. It's false
Yeah.
accusations. I already spoke to
Right,
Woolsey.
right. You know, it's unfortunate that, I mean, this is just a microcosm of the world. Everybody's not ever gonna get along with everybody. And if everybody would just be grown up enough to leave each other alone, we wouldn't be sitting in this situation, but, you know, I would like to think that you guys could, you know, get together and talk this over to get it settled. I would like to think that. I understand that sometimes that's not possible. But again, we all have to live together. You know, we live in close proximity to each other. You know, if you don't like a person, just walk right by him, don't say anything to him. That's the best suggestion that I can have, and we won't get to this point.
I just need to make this one comment. In regards to what Miss Ivory said, she put my guests in, you know, imminent danger. And I did make a complaint about this. I brought this complaint to Plum
If I
Street.
may, excuse me for a moment, this is becoming a he says, she said. And I understand that both parties are here.
Okay.
This isn't really the right place to have this conversation.
You know, I'd love to meet with him and sit down.
And that's certainly an option where you can sit down with our vice chairman afterwards and have that out.
You wanna do that?
Sure.
You wanna stay?
If you want to stay a few minutes afterwards, I got another meeting at 6, but I'd be more than happy to stay and let's just talk. Okay? All right.
I'll stay with you. We have a motion for adjournment?
Make a motion that meeting is adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposes? We'll see you at the fire station.
There you go.
Fire station. Seems like the fire might be here, but.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Good evening.
We gotta,
We might have to go back in.
How do we have?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just reconvene.
Yeah, just.
An open session.
Right.
Just reconvene with a vote, or just reconvene? Just reconvene?
Just reconvene in open session.
We're reconvening.
Okay, we reconvene.
Good evening, my name is Patricia Ship, I'm from Southwind Community. I have a petition against Teresa, from our community about, disrespecting the tenants, that I had enough. I do have, letters. I forgot the letters, cause I was in rushing, I've been really busy today. And I will serve those papers to Maria tomorrow morning. Can you pass this to her, please? It goes to the office building, you can't get in, you can't talk to her, she's talking down to the tenants, and they're not happy about it. We want help to solve this problem before it gets out of hand. She's very disrespectful.
You have a petition, but you don't have it what it's for. You just have names.
I do have it, and like I said, I was in a hurry to get here, and I had forgot it, but I will bring it to Maria tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, there are petitions in that packet. That's it.
Motion to adjourn.
And
Yeah, motion.
second.
Aye.
Opposes? I heard one aye.
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 Come on, people, aye.
20.
No, I'm not actually come back.
At the next working session, will you just, like in your report, will you just give us an update on kind of where all this chaos ends up? Thanks.
I'll probably get you guys an update before that.
That's cool. Thank you. You going over to the firehouse?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, gotta hurry up, 'cause I gotta,
Going there
I gotta open or something.
Okay.
Going home first?
What time is the meeting?
I'm gonna go change. I'm going to the firehouse. I'm watching the NIU football game.
I'll be there. I gotta go see my son make his presentation. At Triple Threat on Main Street. Yeah, here, we didn't. I didn't, you know, is that gonna be official?
Then I go down.
All right, I'll see you at the fire station. I want to stay.
Pay for one.